Welcome in. Welcome in. How's it going? It's the weekend. How are you guys? Oh man. I'm excited. Let's see. Let me catch you guys up on what's been going on. Hey Gabber. Good evening. I have been prepping D&D for the past 2 days and I'm going insane. I swear, it is so much. I have sent my players to this, hey Wanda Wonka, to this giant city that is basically just about anyone who's ever died will go to this city in the underworld. Well, not all of them, but like maybe a quarter or so. And it's a lot. Like, a lot of people with very few resources, so it's like a really interesting kind of planning problem. And then you need to like make encounters, you need to make people, you need to make places. I had to draw a map. I had to come up with like, all of the power structures, who's in charge, where and whatnot. Hello and happy Saturday to you too, Archon. How are you doing? And so yeah, I've spent countless hours, it feels, writing stuff about the city and planning it out in my head. And I haven't even gotten to the level of detail yet where I'm like at individual encounters or specific people. I'm still in like the overview and my brain hurts, I swear to God. I'm probably going to spend a couple more hours on it tomorrow just to get like enough depth to actually be able to like play it with my players tomorrow. But I'm super excited. It's a whole new world. A whole new world. A new beginning. So that's been super fun. We waxed a friend's chest today in preparation for Halloween tomorrow. So that was interesting and fun. I feel bad for him. I think he suffered quite a lot doing that, but he was brave. I was brave, and he lived through it. Poor guy. Yeah, I know, right? Ninja Dogs. Hello. How are you? So yeah. And then, because my brain hurt so much today, I decided that we're not going to play Pokemon. And we're going to play Satisfactory instead, because I am in the mood for Satisfactory. And I wasn't in the mood to do Pokemon right now. I hope you guys are okay with that. So I thought we could build an iron outpost and start some of our iron production today. How does that sound to you guys? There's wax on my pants. This is the living proof, or the dead proof, that we did the waxing today. If I can't see that. Let's get into it. Also, one more thing. I built my rats a tiny house. I don't know if you can see it in the background there. There. And they fucking love it. They're in there the entire time, and it's so cute. I just noticed all the plants in your background. Nice. Thank you. I try to keep it green around here. My hibiscus just started blooming, if you can see it over there, which is very pretty. It's only going to last a couple days, but I'm very happy about that. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, it's pretty. If you stick around for long enough, you can even name one of them if you'd like. It's one of the channel point rewards that we have here. And you can have your own plant. A lot of them have names. This one does, and this one, and that one down there, and that one down there. Yeah. Let's do it. We came up with a design for our new outposts last time. So now we're kind of in a state where we can actually jump in and start building. We just had to like figure out what it was going to look like and feel like beforehand. My brain was like, where do I click to make the game happen? I see a new redemption to play blind. Interesting. Yes, Arjun. I thought Since y'all liked to torture me with socks so much, thought we could go one step farther and play blind. I don't have a blindfold here, but I will find one if need be, or just put a blanket over my head or something. And then you can watch me try and build something completely blind. I'm not sure if I should do it with or without chat. That is up to you, but I think it'd be funny. I did also want to add play with mittens on, but I don't have mittens. But if I ever see mittens anywhere, I might buy them, in which case I will have mittens and you can redeem that. Building Pog? Yeah, we're gonna build some cool stuff. Let me show you, Ninja Dogs. Let me show you the cool building we did last time, in case you weren't here. 1 second, technical difficulties. Here comes the game. Ta-da! Da-da-da-da-da-da. We are on update 5 on the experimental build. Or toggle invert mouse. Ooh. That would be a pain. I love the new menu. Right? It's so cute, just a person sitting there with their coffee. I love it too. So this is what we came up with last time. It's not a finished design yet, but this is sort of what we're going to be going for in our factories. I'm a sucker for depth of field. I can see that for sure. Okay, showcase this to me. Right, so the way this is going to look in the final version is that there's going to be a sort of center part, that's the entrance, which is the center 4 squares here. I'm gonna build that one higher such that the entrance can be more imposing. And that's going to be standing out. And then around it, we're going to build this kind of chess board pattern. We've tried 2 different designs on the left here and the right here last time. I liked the left better, so I think that's what we're going to be going with. I was like, what was that sound? Hi, Puppo. How's it going? You look a little stuck there, my friend. The left is obviously better. Right? The one on the right, I like, it's simpler and it's easier to build, but it just doesn't have the same, you know, to it. So that's what we're going to be going with. And then I'll have a roof that is also raised up above. It's going to be cube or maybe like rectangle or, ow, okay, there he comes. Hi, Papa. Shaped. And anything else I need to say about it? No, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's the design, that's what we're going with. We need to pick a good place to build it. So here's what I'm thinking. This is going to be the outpost design. It's just a truck like flying into the field of vision. Don't mind that truck, it's doing totally fine. There's going to be the outpost design. So we're gonna make outpost where we're gonna gather a bunch of resources together and then route them to our main base, which doesn't exist yet, but we'll build in a future iteration of me playing this game. And yeah, I want to start with one of those outposts today. The question is, 1, where do we build it? 2, what materials do we need to do that? I think we need a bunch of concrete for the walls and the floors and some glass. And trains when? I think we have them unlocked. Trains when the actual outpost is done. Do I have trains? Yeah. I have trains already unlocked. See? But I need to have something that can contain a train station, right? Otherwise it's kind of I can't just build a train to nowhere. That seems pointless. So we're gonna need to build one of our outposts first, and then we're gonna build a train to connect it. Which I'm excited about. I might combine the two designs. I'm not sure yet. I think if I just do the chess pattern one, it'll be too much. And I don't want it to be too much. So I might do something where I combine the left and the right design occasionally. Well, we'll figure it out. Yeah, let's grab some resources. How much silica do we have? A good bit. Like 100, 200. It's not a lot. I prepared a course consisting of 11 short lessons. For trains? Say it's for trains. Say it ain't so. Because that would be awesome. Or is it for your students? It's gonna be a course on like ancient literature. Why do I have so much stuff in my inventory? For trains, yes. Is it like a... When you say a course, does that include YouTube videos, or is it more like, here are 11 tips I can give you sort of thing? Like what are we talking about when you say course here? Okay, first things first, we need to pick a... Ooh. I've been making some scuffed intersections with trains. They're apparently really difficult to deal with. But I am super excited for them because they are, you know, trains are the future. And I like trains. Yeah, I love them though, exactly. Just 11 tips in text format, 1 to 2 sentences each. I'm so excited. It's awesome that you prepped that. I'm assuming it wasn't specifically for me, but I will take advantage of it regardless. So that's awesome. Right, where do we build our first? Wait, can we have maps yet, or are maps later?
I strongly advise you to harvest this specimen.
What? Well, that was creepy. So that's the iron down there, and that's the iron. There's some up there, there's some over there. That one we're already using, that's the one down there.
Harvest.
What's with the creepy voices? Jesus. It's from me, so if you use those tips, my OCD will not be hurt. Very lovely. Could do that well as a YouTube video? Oh, for sure. There's probably a lot of people desperate for advice on how to use trains in Satisfactory. Question, should I look at a map so I can find a nice vein of iron? Or should I just walk and find the first one that comes to me and go with that? My potato English would steal the show. I think your English is just fine. Ah! Oh. Okay, we're fine. Don't worry about it. Where's the one over there? There's some up there. Yeah, let's check that out. Written is fine, yeah. How is it spoken? Oh man, I forgot I had a jetpack, guys. Woo! Yes. I love jetpacks. So convenient. I just realized. Let me turn on some music for us. Shuffle play that. Let's go. Oh no, I wanted to. I found a specific song for you guys. Spoken English is bullcrap. I mean, it's not that bad, but worse than I want it to be. I mean, if you have something interesting and important to say, I don't think people care that much, honestly. Like, as long as it's understandable, it's fine. Like, I've watched plenty of YouTube videos in my time of people who didn't speak perfect English, and if the thing they have to say is important, that's fine, you know? Like, if they're clearly trying, then I don't think anyone judges that. I found a specific song that I wanted to share with you guys. Question is where did I put it? Is it an album? Not a playlist. An artist? What's the thing I oh, there it is. Pause champ. This wasn't the song I wanted. No. This was the song I wanted, and then I want to go song radio and see if that gets us good music. Let's see. Why's my chat so small? There we go. Nope. Is this the iron? That looks like iron. It's impure. Do we take it anyways, or do we find a better one? That's the question. Both of these are impure. You can't really purify iron, right? There's some more up there. Let's take a look at that. Maybe that's better. I vibe to this music. So how's you guys' weekend been so far? Are you enjoying it? Was it as D&D heavy as my weekend? I doubt, because mine was crazy. These are also impure. Ow. There's some here. And there's some more here. So if we built our base here, we get access to 1, 2, 3, 4 sources of iron. They're all impure, but it's a lot, so I think that's okay. It's been pretty good. We mainly played Sea of Thieves. Tomorrow's prep for Halloween. Ooh, yeah. Do you have a costume, Martin? Are you going to a party of some sort? Or what's your Halloween plans? Yeah, what is everybody's Halloween plans, guys? Okay. We've been pretty low-key for Halloween due to COVID outbreaks in our area. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. That sucks. Oh, nope, stay down there. Yep, this looks like Satisfactory. It does indeed, Tuba Taylor. Enjoying the jazz? I believe this is a Pokemon song from Pokemon Black and White? Maybe? It's one of the city themes. That's what I'm jazzing to here. How are you doing, Tuba Taylor? Tell us about your Halloween plans, if they're fun. Prepping a scavenger hunt for the sun? Aww, that's adorable. That's so cool. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, hello. I didn't see you there. I wish my dad had prepped scavenger hunts for me as a kid. That would have been so cool. Well, we did Halloween, you know, the classic way where you go house to house and stuff. Is future-proofing something you want to care about when building this? If you want to decorate this thing, I would say you should. Future-proofing in terms of making it scalable? Is that what you're referring to? And yes, that is something I care about. I'm going to say that all of my main bases are going to be, I don't know, south aligned? Kind of doesn't matter, I just wanted to have a consistent alignment. What is this gonna be exactly? Well, this is gonna be an outpost for iron. So, we just collect all of the iron here and then process it here. Look at that moth going places. So cool. One day I'm going to ride you. Just you wait. One day. Doing well, about to go to Halloween get together at Colonel Steve's house with meat. Aww. That's so cool. Y'all know each other. IRL. That's awesome. That is really cool. I hope you guys have a ton of fun. And say hi to, I guess both of them know me now, so both of them. You going as Wednesday Addams. I wish I knew who or what that is. Can you explain it to me? 100% vax and 100% negative rapid test today because safety. Hell yes. Oh, fun news. My parents are both vaccinated, of course. And both of them just tested positive for COVID. So it's good that you get both the vaccine and the test, because it can definitely still happen. Just unfortunately. Or should we make them north aligned, guys? Maybe east aligned? We are in the southwest corner of the map, right? Approximately. So it makes sense to make them like east or north aligned, I guess. Okay, so even if you don't have Mach 5 belts yet, build it like you had it already, so dimensions it for 780 minutes, 780 per minute belt speed. Okay. I will try my best to do that. Just leave me! Okay, we're gonna start with some foundations that are going to be east aligned, like that. Just so I can get out of the way of the puppos. From the Addams family, like Cousin It, Uncle Festa, Morticia, and Gomez. Oh, yeah, no, I know the Addams family. I've heard of this before. I've just never seen it, but that's super cool. What does your costume look like? Because I can't think of the character off the top of my head. I remember the main guy and the woman. And is it the one with the hand? Or am I imagining that? With just the just the hand. Is that the show? Or am I talking about something different here? I'm just building some foundation so I can get the pillars aligned nicely here. There we go. Just a hand is cousin it. You got it? Yes. Okay, okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. All good, all good. Super cool. Yeah, that's exciting. I never go with costumes from actual shows, which I probably should at some point. Oh, you can just extend the beams. I'm doing this all wrong, guys. Okay. This is way more difficult than it should be. Example, if you built an on-site iron smelting building, that means 780 over 30 is 26 smelters. Because that's how much iron I can get out of a... Because that's how much I can get out of a Mach. No, 780 is the max belt speed. Yeah, but I should adjust it to the maximum amount of stuff I can get out of the nodes, right? Which if I have 4 nodes, that's like however much. Like that's where I should start my math now. Because then it is the hairy member, thing is the hand. Oh, that makes sense. I mean, calling it thing and whatnot. That adds up. Hey, Water Buffalo, how's it going? How are you doing today? We're probably gonna need a little bit more space. I'm just gonna keep building it outward and like I want us to have plenty of space. I just realized I have zoop mode, guys. What the hell am I doing? There's no need for me to build slowly when I can zoop. Is that big enough? No. Well, you can always bring here some more, but you can't just extend your building unless you build it scalable, future expansion in mind. Makes sense, makes sense. So, but the most I can supply is 26 smelters with a single belt side, right? So if I want more than 26 smelters, I have to build them on top of each other or next to each other or something. But they have to be in a separate production line, is what you're saying. Exhausted, how about you? Also exhausted. Been planning D&D all day and my brain feels kind of like noodle soup, I will say. So, I feel your pain. What are you exhausted from, Water Buffalo? Other than, you know, life. Which I would understand. It's a legit concern. Yes, exactly. That's how I'm doing it. Okay. I think I understand what you mean, Gabber. We might still have to, like, reevaluate when we get there. I'm gonna start with this size. I think this is a good size. Why can't I? No, wrong button. That's why. No, up. There we go. If the music is too much, guys, you need to let me know. I'm just hardcore vibing here, but I get that it's a bit much, so if you're like, this is exhausting, please turn it off. Then I can find something chiller for y'all. I think this tall. Spent all week painting my Oma and Opa's place in preparation for selling it, and spent the better part of 8 hours Thursday moving out what was left in the house, then worked last night. Oh man, that house of your grandparents is really... It's a project, isn't it? You told us about it last time and you were already working pretty hard on it. I'm sorry that's taking so much time, but I bet it looks really good. And it's gonna be really cool when you can get to selling it. Up. No, up. Up. There we go. These beams refuse to work. Well, nope, I'm dying. Nope. There we go. Run! Run for your life. Should build it higher. Yes. Yes, we should. And wider. One smelter is about one of these thingies wide, right? Just so I can... Let's see. 2 is a smelter. Yeah. So we want it... Watch out for the manta as well? No, it's not gonna be that high. Don't worry about that. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. Okay, we're gonna need a little bit bigger. How are the things in experimental? Pretty stable so far. I was able to use all of the future update stuff pretty reliably, and they look really nice. Like, I like it a lot. So far, I'm pretty happy with it. Have you played with it yet? Have you checked out the new update yet, Water Buffalo? So the thing is, if we built this right, I'm imagining that the production line is sort of parallel to the entrance, meaning that you can always add more on the sides of the factory, and if you really wanted to, you could add additional production lines behind it, and then the entrance is the only wall that's sort of set, and that's where, like, that's non-negotiable, basically. That means that we might have to rebuild some of the walls later on, but I don't think that's really a problem. Okay, how many do we have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 24. You said 26 or 28 smelters. Nice, I'm going to wait till update 5 goes live before getting into it. My download speed is pretty potato, so I would rather wait. That's fair enough, that's fair enough. I was just, you know, excited about it, so I wanted to get going ASAP. All I'm saying is I'm impatient. I'm going to build it out a little bit farther than 26, because that way we can always... Oh, that's not what I meant to do at all. Oops. Just that one floating block over there all by itself. No, 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 that's not what we're doing, my friend. Okay. How is that? So that should be 28 blocks now. Cool music. Hi, Kurt. How's it going? And also, thanks. We're vibing to some Pokemon music today. How are you? And, important question, do you have fun Halloween plans that you're going to be doing? I think this is good. Let's start with this. I might need to build it up a little higher. We don't celebrate Halloween? Aw. That's fair, I suppose. But also sad. Halloween's fun. Where's my stuff there? So that's two farther up. Just need to make sure that's on the same. I'm South African. That's fair. That's fair. I will accept that as an excuse to not celebrate Halloween. The customizing makes painting and all that so much easier. 1,000 times Water Buffalo. 1,000 times. It is so, so nice. I love the customizer, really. Did you get candy and stuff? No. Well, I did as a kid, you know, but as an adult, you just kind of go and get drunk somewhere, probably. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. How about it here? So did you get drunk and get candy? Not today, but I will do that tomorrow. I don't know about the candy, but the getting drunk part, very likely, yes. Gotta celebrate Halloween properly, right? How high do we need to go here? I don't know. I'm just gonna put some at the corner, and then I'm gonna put the floor in, and then we're gonna go from there. Cool, cool. Yeah, have fun, lol. Thank you. I am going to, for sure. We're going to a public viewing of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That is an act and sing-along theater showing of it with costumes and everything, so it's going to be absolutely batshit crazy, which I'm very excited about. I also realized that maybe the Rocky Horror Picture Show isn't even like known in large parts of the world, so if you're currently going like the Rocky what is fine, you don't need to know it. What you building? We are building an outpost for our iron production. So this bad boy is going to have all the iron in the environment. It's going to smelt it into iron ingots. How tall? How tall? I think that's good. I think it's good for now. I'm gonna start with some actual foundations on top of this bad boy. Help! Let me up! Have you been zooping? Oh, hell yeah, I've been zooping. I frickin' love Zoop. Zoop's fantastic. Just trying to get this. There we go. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. And now we zoop. Zoop. Haha, dare you to say I've been zooping in casual conversation? You underestimate how much I enjoy playing this game. I do not care about your clearance clipping at all. Clip all you want. We built this one too high. Oh, right to the corner! Nice. And then we add... Oops. Then we dismantle all of this. And, that looks good. Plan for using at least 16-meter ceiling height, 4 big foundations. Yeah, I was actually aiming for 6, I think. That was my plan. Zoop! Zoop! Yeah, for decoration purposes, more is even better. Yeah, and it'll look nicer if it's larger, I think. Now, we get rid of this. And we need some columns here. Nice. Sweet. Remove that. And zoop that. Oh man, this is so much easier to do with the zooping. I'm imagining having to like build the foundations manually and Do this. Remind me to paint the floor before we put in everything else. And start building the walls, because I keep forgetting that I should do that. And then I regret it horribly afterward every time. Should also cut down some of these trees so we have some more space. Ooh. When I start playing U5 and I go for decoration, I will also increase the ceiling height standard. Nice, yeah. Yeah, it just looks nicer if your factory isn't like this kind of like squatting building that's just really long but kind of looks a little like squashed from the top. Zoop. Zoop. How did they come up with the name zooping? Is that a word in English or is it just made up? Somebody who speaks English, help. Explain. I like that you can now set the color and material before building. Are you kidding me? Why didn't you tell me that? Why didn't you tell me that before I built the entire foundation? One of their directors made the sound when he tested it, so it became the name. I understand why. It does go zoop pretty hard, so that makes sense. It's a CSS language? I didn't know that. I did not know that. Okay, let me do some quick maths. Like such. And such. And this. And that. Jetpack is better for exploration, but it's a bad joke for building. Okay. Oh no, okay. Archon, tell me how I make the color before I build it. Do I do it in the customizer somehow? While I paint everything. Painty, painty, paint, 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 paint. Painty, paint, 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 paint. This is what MS Paint, using MS Paint is like. Paint, 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 paint. This is actually much better. I don't know if I would have painted everything if I had to use the color gun. I'll be real with you. I might have, because I'm really that pedantic on coloring things, but I might have not also. That looks super nice. Yeah, it's just a clean, nice white as a foundation. Then we're gonna go in with our red on the building. It's gonna look dank. Just you wait. And a lot of red and a lot of glass. There we go. I can't reach the edges. Fine. There we go. How do I pre-color it? Does anyone know? How many heart drafts have you collected so far approximately? Like 8-ish, I think. Would be my guess. Oh, here, I can edit the foundation swatch. Wait. I figured it out. Look at me go. Guys, sometimes I feel smart. I do also want to load a previous save. You'll see in a second why. Destroying old sessions. So dramatic. I started watching Squid Game yesterday. And it's interesting. Have you guys seen it? I mean, at this point, does anyone exist who hasn't seen it yet, to be fair? Okay. Nope. I don't want to say you should watch it. Nope. Okay. Okay. I found the chat of non-Squid Game watchers. I see. I see. I see how it goes. It is Netflix's most watched show of all times now. Finished it in one sitting. I was about to, but then I was like, maybe I should sleep. But I was close to finishing it in one sitting, yeah. I need to look up a thing real fast. On our example building. The overhype in general makes me hate things without even seeing them. I understand that very much. What I find funny about it is that it hasn't been overhyped to me. Like, anyone I asked about it was like, yeah, I mean, you could watch it. It's alright, you know? There wasn't anyone who was like, God, Lioness, you have to watch Squid Game. People were genuinely pretty chill about it. They were like, yeah, if you like it, watch it. If you don't, you know? So we built this one, the entrance like one forward from the rest, right? You haven't seen the last episodes yet of Squid Game? It's going to become interesting. I mean, I'm curious to see in what way. I'm gonna wanna make it two, yeah. Okay. I have found the information I need. I hear about it 20 times each day. It sounds fair. So if you just watch it, 9 episodes, then you're done with it. And you can tell everybody why it sucks so much and why they should stop talking about it. It's one way to go about it. I watched it the weekend it came out, so I didn't really know what it was. I was too tired to find anything else and just began in there. That's what Netflix is counting on when they suggest you shows. They're like, please watch it or don't, you know, whatever you feel like. Hi, big fella. That was a good one. Wonder Wonka, you can't unban people I ban. That's not how modding works. You're doing the opposite of the thing. I know it was probably an accident, but that's funny. Did I? I might have clicked at the same time. Yeah, I think you did. Thomas Tank? Tick Elephant? You mean thick elephant. Okay, I'll stop. I apologize. I didn't mean to, guys. I'm sorry. Nice. Okay, now we got him banned. The music is Thomas the Tank Engine. Oh. Is it? It is. That's funny. Yep. I vibe with it. I think it's good. I'm happy. Gonna go with a slightly wider entrance just because otherwise it'll be so small in the grand scheme of the building. Like that. Yes, and now, watch this. If I change the foundation color in the... Haha! Fast painting, let's go! That was easy. It's not exactly intuitive, but it is more intuitive than usual, than it was before, let's say. Let me zoom that. It vibes. Oop, I zooped that a little too far. My bad. Are you using the default foundation texture intentionally? Is there a different one? What else can it look like? I didn't know there were other options! It's the only material I have. Are there other? Yeah, like concrete, coated concrete, metal if I'm right. I don't think I have those unlocked. I think you can purchase those, and I don't think I have yet. Unless I'm missing something in the menu somewhere, but it's this, right? You can buy them in the awesome shop? Yeah, I'm just broke. Because we did a lot of shopping last time. I don't have U5 yet, so I'm telling this from memory. Correct me if I'm wrong. No, it's definitely possible. Like, they definitely had said something about textures. Just don't think we have it yet. Okay, question. Visualize this with me. The entrance, right, is going to be too wide, too tall at the bottom, kind of open space. That's like where you actually walk into the factory. And then on top of that, we have this kind of chess pattern, right? Do we want the chess pattern to be two, like, blocks, big blocks, like 2 by 2? So that's kind of trying to visualize without hover pack failed. No, stop, Gabber. I'm explaining. Listen to me. Listen, okay, listen. Hear me out here. Hear me out. Do we want it to be a big block, a big block, a big block, a big block? Or do we want it to be all the little chess pieces? When you think about your answer, think about the fact that the rest of the factory is going to be all the little chess pieces. So the entrance would stand out more if it wasn't. But it's not going to be symmetrical if we do it that way. So that's a thing to think about. Did my explanation make any sense? Y'all probably at home right now going like, Jesus, this woman. Asymmetry looks good. Yeah, you think so? Actually, no, I have 6. I built it wider, so we can make it symmetrical and large. So it's going to be 3 blocks. Let me build it for you. Then you're gonna take a look at it and tell me what you think. I'm gonna say this as an OCD person. Whoa. Whoa there. Take it easy, Gabber. If this tree wasn't here, it'd be very nice. It's kind of in my way, not gonna lie. No, that's not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. Go on top. Go on top. There you go. Good boy. So this is what I'm imagining, and then we put foundations on top of that. Like such. And then we do it again. But vice versa. Sure. We're out of stuff. I might like the big design. I haven't decided yet. I might tear it all down and rebuild it again. But that's the beauty of it, right? Can always do that. Oh, this music is so peaceful. I like it. We need a lot more steel beams. Like a lot. I think they're here. Yeah. So much shit in my inventory, guys. There we go. Now, at the front here. Nope, I know the location, but where exactly at that location is the question. You know, just go with your guts, I'm gonna say. There's not gonna be one right place. You're just gonna have to pick one and stick with it. Zoop. Lovely. Guys, you're gonna like this design. I hope. Anyways. I'm talking myself into it, so I don't have to rebuild it if I don't like it. But we'll see. We'll see in a second. Jesus. Difficult to land on. Okay, let's take a look at it. Let's see if we like this or if we're gonna have to rebuild it all from scratch, because it sucks. It's very possible. I like it. It should be one higher. So it's a nice square. Agree? Disagree? We can make the entrance higher than the rest of the factory. That is absolutely a possibility. Yeah, one higher? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. But it looks good. I'm into it. Do you mean starting from higher? No, 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 just one extra layer on top. Because right now the 3 is just sort of not high enough. Hello there. Takes a second to climb this monstrosity I've created. There we go. Ooh, what is this music? It's got me wild. Casso's theme from Frozen? Never heard of it. That's good. I know, I really like the last 2 tracks, right? Right? They're really good. Okay, wait, I need to look at the picture real fast. My reference picture. Over here. Probably still want the walls, right? I could do window then. I know this is probably a tiny, non-significant detail, but there. Do I want walls there or do I want no walls there? Cannot decide, guys. Wouldn't it be better if you first built the functional part, the machines, and then you built the decoration around it? I don't know, just asking. I'm not the best at decoration. Walls? Okay. I trust you, Water Buffalo. I trust your intuition on this. I'm going to build some of the decorations, then the functional part, then the rest of the decorations. That's my current plan. I'm gonna build the front wall, basically. And the sides, and out the back, I can forever expand it if need be. So there I'm going to leave it open for now, and then build all the interior. Or maybe I'll just build the front wall. Okay, Buffalo said we have walls here. Cool. So we do that. Boom. Walls. I want to, you know, space it up too, Gabber. I want some wall building, some non-wall building. Kind of mix it up for you guys, so you don't get bored. Okay, let's take another look at it. In the perfect sunlight setting. That's actually not that visible in the dark. What do we think? I think that's better. Wall, wall, wall. Here we are again. Wall, wall, wall. Indeed. Okay, so far I'm happy with it. Means we can start on the side walls. Whoop. Whoop. So is this how wide and tall it's gonna be? No, this is how tall the entrance is going to be. Nothing else. Now, the actual building is going to be this wide, like over there till over there. I don't know how long it's going to be, like in that direction. I haven't decided yet. It's gonna depend on how much we need here, basically. And then tall, I think I'm gonna make it one less tall on the sides. So just have the entrance be this tall, because this is 10 blocks, right? But I don't want the entire factory to be 10, I want the entire factory to be 8. So I'm gonna make the walls on the side be 8 wide. And just have the entrance be a little taller so it kind of looks up and out. It looks a little cooler, basically. As the plan right now. Jesus, that's very big. What do you want to produce here? Let's talk about that once more. Iron? You said I should plan for 26. That's just what I was going for. I can make it smaller. That's no problem at all. Iron what? Iron, of course. Just iron. Just iron. Nothing else. Just want to smelt all the iron. Oh, my bad. Because we talked about moving all of the actual resources to the factory, right? In smelted form. Too big for just iron rods and iron plates. Okay, okay. Drew and Raven, no factory is ever too big. That's the spirit, my man. Welcome in. How are you doing? Doing all right? You? I'm having a fantastic time here. This is my jam, this factory building stuff. Mostly the factory decorating, which I can tell is annoying Gabber because I'm just focusing on the aesthetics and not the functionality of it. But if it's too big for iron rods and iron plates, then we can produce both of those here, right? Instead of just smelting and sending ingots to the main factory, I find it better, especially for lag eventually, to make a secondary materials on site, then move those to main factory. Okay, I mean, we could make this a secondary material factory. I am not opposed to that at all, basically. Well, for just those two parts, it's a bit big. If other things are also planned, then yes, you're right. You said I should make it future-proof. I'm just following your advice here. The main factory then has assemblers and manufacturers. That makes sense. That makes sense. I like that idea. Is that how you're keeping your own factory, Drew? And storage, of course. Yeah, yeah. Obviously. In the end, yes, that's the goal. Ooh, does that mean you're still building on it? Which is exciting. Because everyone I know here is already like, yes, I have 18 factories producing purely rods for me. I like it better to bring almost everything to my mega base. But bringing it in like basic components seems fine. Because I don't need raw iron for anything other than the basic components, do I? Right now I'm making a mega campus and building out. I started over for U5 and started a server. Awesome. That's so cool. I have no idea what this wall's gonna look like in the end. I don't know if I like it or not. I'm just going with my guts on it though. And then we're gonna take a look at it in a second. This music! I think I found a good playlist, guys. I'm into it. If you min-max and bring all materials to the mega base, you will lag out way too bad, as seen by Kibitz and other YouTubers lol. That is fair, yeah. I'm assuming all of those YouTubers have good computer builds and it's not really that problem, it's just that the game itself can't handle that. I know and I don't care. That's also fair. Is this what we did? I think we did it too tall at the other one. I'm not sure again. Ignorance is bliss, That is true, that is true. Which part of your factory are you working on right now, Drew? I did it already in my first session, it's not that bad. We'll see. Secondary steel build? Nice. Nice. Yeah, I have a little bit to catch up on you then. To be fair, I'm also wasting all of my time making it look very pretty, so... Probably not gonna catch up on you anytime soon. We did too tall, guys. Too tall. And one wide. And we left, yeah, just the sides without walls. Amadios, welcome in. Hello. Just a cup of coffee to become a dream stream for Satisfactory? Well, here's my cup of coffee for you. I'm going slow because I'm only automating to advanced, no handcrafting or bins to manufacturers. Fair enough, fair enough. Can't be slower than me? Well, try me, Gabber. Thanks for the follow, Amadios. I appreciate that. How are you doing? Are we talking bot Wanda Wonka? Sag. Okay, we're gonna have to redo this part. I'm doing it with another guy and we literally are spending like 2 hours to make buildings look pretty. It's pretty dumb sometimes. What? No! That's the whole point. I don't think that's dumb. I spent 2 days just trying to decide where I should produce alloy ingots. You have no chance. Okay, that's fairly impressive, I will admit. No. Spent 45 minutes on a hallway for a belt this morning. Like an hour and a half long. Nice. Very good. Now we're competing on who can spend the most time making things look pretty, and that is a metric I can get behind, guys. Okay. Where were we? Let's try that again. I'm making it too tall. What was that sound? Oh, hi there. I just found out recently, guys, that you can jump on these and it's the best thing ever. Look at it. Look at it. Whee! 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 Isn't it fantastic? It absolutely made my day. Boing, boing, boing. Yeah. Wait until you see concrete and the steel floors. They're stunning compared to the default. Oh, yes, I want it. I haven't unlocked it yet because I'm poor. That's really the problem. I'm too poor for it. But I will. And then we'll put it in our factories. I'm excited for that. This is the worst way of building this. Ugh. I'm already dumping computers and heavy frames all. Unlimited tickets almost. Ooh. That's nice, that's nice. Yeah, we're nowhere near that. But we're trying. And that's what matters, guys. Just kidding. Results matter. Okay, I'm fine. Nope, that's not where I meant to put that. Okay, I think that's better. We'll start with the front here. You'll have to show me some screenshots, Drew. I'm super curious about what your factory looks like, because if you're doing nice designs, I want to be inspired by them, and I want to make nice designs. Fuck, we're out of silica. Shit, crap. Guys, we're out! Out! I don't know if we have any more. I think we have a little bit more left. That we can still turn into silica. We're gonna need to actually build something that manufactures it though, because we can't manually do it the entire time. That's stupid. Let's see. Are we out or are we just a little out, you know? we're just a little out. Ooh, pictures. Yes. Let's see. Let's take a look at that. Wait, you can build the beams at an angle? Like upward like that? I didn't know that. Oh, that looks really neat. Ooh, I like the triangle stuff. Freeform, yeah. The triangles at the bottom is really cool. Can show if you want. Love that. Yeah, let me. I'm not showing it because I don't want to. I'm not showing it because I don't know. I don't know how to do. Let me grab it. I have it here. Can take a look at it. It's not how I wanted that. 1 second. There we go. Check this out. Looks really cool. It has like diagonal support, which is something I want in my base because I'm planning on building my base sort of. I'm still a work in progress. I mean, it looks super cool. I'm planning on building my base, like, as a platform floating out from the cliffside. So I want kind of support like that to support it. I think that'd be really cool. So that angle is really cool if we can do it downward like that. And I like the triangles at the bottom. I don't know how I would do that. Wow, right? There's a second one too, I can show you that too. So the second one's a little hard to see. Here's the second one. This is the kind of like OCD that I want to be going for. I really like that. It looks really neat. And it's in the water, right? Floating factory. It's so big. Amadios, welcome back. Sorry about the ban. One of my moderators wasn't sure whether you were legit or not, so we accidentally banned you. But welcome back. The music, the theme, everything, and the entrance design, wow, so great, perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've tried really hard on the designs in particular. We've got more silica, so we can keep going, guys. Almost daytime till I'll take one of the campus. Ooh, nice, nice. Do show. Where were we? Windows. Right. Where are you joining from, Amadios? I'm missing a ladder add-on, you know that safety ladder type? Safety is for weak people, Gabber. You don't need safety. That's huge. But you've again got the sort of the triangles there. Or which I really like. It looks cool. It's a little hard to tell because I'm assuming, Drew, it's absolutely massive. But that looks cool. It's exciting. I'm from Iran. You can call me M. Lovely, M. Welcome in. Super cool. I like that you think this has a coffee shop vibe. This is... I like that. Nope. There we go. Zoop. Whoop. No, build. Out. This way. What are you doing? God damn it. Build. There we go. Wait. Too far. I'll do a few picks instead. Hold on. Yeah, that would be better. It's kind of hard to see. Is this 6 high already? 1, 2, 4. No. One more, guys. I meant for decorations, you know, with hover pack, I'm not actually using ladders. Oh. Yeah, no. But safety, overrated. I mean, we just throw ourselves with the jetpack off a cliff, so... Safety is clearly not a concern here. There we go, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. I wonder if with 300 we can finish this side, or if we're gonna have to go back for more silica before we finish the side of the factory. Oh, the music got real cozy there. I swear this is a randomized playlist, like a song radio on Spotify, guys, so I am as surprised by the music as you are every time. And it is a wild journey, but I'm kind of down for it. What did you say the minimum height should be, Gabber? Was it 6? And I said I'll make it 8? Is that what I said? Build. Zoop! I want you to zoop. There we go. 4 times 4 for functionality. Okay, so I said I'll make it 6, right? Okay. So this is what that would look like. Let's take a look at that. More for decoration. Yeah. I'll take a look at a picture in a second. Okay, guys. How we vibing with this? What you say? You like it? Try with the test smelter? Absolutely. That looks very neat and organized, Drew. I like it. Ooh, I like the outside design with the steel bar. That's cool. Oh, you built it in the blue crater. That's cool. It's a nice location, too. I would randomize the blocks in and outs. No. That would be insanity. I can't, no. My brain would not allow it, Gabber. I couldn't. I might do it 1 higher. I think I should do it 1 higher. What do you guys think? Forest? Oh, I thought it was the... I saw one of these, oh no. Yeah. No, never mind. Those are not in the crater. You're right. Really, you should look at it from over there. What? Even my brain would approve it? Not the OCD department of my brain, then. No, I want it to be perfectly symmetrical and everything. I'm gonna need to cut those trees down, they're really in the way. It's where the 4 iron pure nodes and 2 copper near all the oil on the beach. But that is within the blue crater. At the beach. That's where I have my oil factory. And that's definitely in the blue crater. It's at like the edge of the forest. Do you have any plans for inside the factory, or is it just a design? Ish. Not concrete. So this is supposed to be an iron factory, but the details of it we haven't figured out yet. Right now we're just doing the front wall design, and once we're done with that, we're gonna figure out what to put inside it. Yeah? Okay, yeah. That's what I thought. I'll do the other side and then I'll decide whether it's tall enough or not. I don't know. I might want it to be 8 blocks tall. Just because it'll look nicer. Plates, rods, screws. Motherfuckers. Rip. Yes? This is where it is. Let me check. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know where that is. I've died a bunch of times there. That's how I know. So much that I had to look it up on the map once because I couldn't find my body parts. Modular frame, reinforced iron plates. Yes, that's exactly what I said, right? Yeah, we'll probably start with like, I don't know, rods and plates. Maybe screws will get its own factory? I don't know yet. We'll see. Undecided, guys. Undecided. We should probably do a spreadsheet stream to really, like, hone in on it. Where we decide how many of these outposts we're gonna have and how large they're all gonna be and that sort of stuff. Orangie! Welcome back! Thanks for the sub, my man. Would you ever be interested in chatting politics with some of my streamers' viewers? Depends what sort of politics. I am not an intensely political person. We're out of concrete. But I've been many places, so I might, you know, I might be able to bring in a cultural perspective that could be interesting. But I don't, you know a ton about, like, politics live and ongoing. Primarily American politics. Would be nice to have a, hey, this is how it works in Europe broadly. I could possibly do that, yeah. I know some things about European politics. Though if you're gonna ask me about specific politicians, I will be at a loss. I make political websites for a living and hate politics. How did that come about, Drew? That sounds like it'd be not ideal. Your plants are looking great. Thank you. I try. There's some dead ones in the back, but they're behind me, so you can't see them, so it's okay. There's a couple of plants who are just giving up on me right now, which is because it's winter and it's their time, so it's fine. They're supposed to be dying right now. Oh, you mean what kind of production is going to make, but not certain? May I suggest something? You have about 4 stairs in this factory. You can build layers of production in each stair, you know, with potential of changing the output or control to the last outputs. The thing is that I was planning on making multiple of these. I do not want it to be multi-story, just because I've thought about that in my main factory. Like the stuff that I'm using right now is multi-floor, and it's not actually that great, I will say. I love to code, don't care what they give me to code. Oh, that's fair, that's fair. In that case, what you're doing is building a website, though. It's not strictly politics. Like, you're not making the content for a website about politics, are you? That I can see. If you were like a political writer and you hated politics, that would be something entirely different. Also, I feel like it's very common. There's a lot of coders in my chat, which I love. Like, that's cool. It's the future. No, the clients give it to the account managers and they refine it and send it to me. Yeah, and you just kind of program whatever they tell you to do. That seems fair. Did I build that right? Yeah. Yeah, Ranji, if you want to hit me up with some more details in the chat, like in a private chat, then I will consider it and see if I could be of use in such a discussion. I'd like to have the, topic beforehand so I can maybe inform myself a bit more. But seems cool. I'd be down. They give me an XD file with design and I code it out in React Note. Oh, nice. You know, you are the kind of person I could use in my projects. Could have used anyways. Had a really hard time finding good people to convert design into code for me. Welcome back, Ninja Dogs. Welcome in. How was your whatever you did? Work, I'm assuming? Did you work? Did you clean up? Did you? What day is today? Saturday. No, people don't work on Saturdays. Not usually anyways. So it's probably something else. But welcome back. Coolest thing I've done so far is made a website for the pilot from Black Hawk Down with Mike Durant. What? That's so cool. That is by far the coolest thing. Yeah. That far supersedes any cool projects I've worked on. Well, I did some like ALS research, which was pretty nice, but I don't know if like cool is the word I would use. It was nice though. Nice work. Now you know how it is, you get roped into one thing and it leads into another and suddenly you're tied up on a bed without pants on and you don't know how you got there. I totally get you, Ninja Dog. It happens to the best of us. All the time. And one thing leads to another, you know. You know how it'd be. This is going to cut it close with the giant flying dude. I think it's gonna be fine, but it's gonna be close. Yes, yes, exactly. Well, welcome back regardless, though. Let's see. Also running out of silica again. So it's just an eternal struggle for resources at this point, guys. Which I guess is also kind of the definition of this game, to be fair, so. Shouldn't be surprised by that one. Oh, remind me that I can build a watchtower to take a look at it, too. So we can see it from a higher angle. Decide if we like it. Do you put floors on the belt or up the walls or through false floors? I'm not sure what that question means. Please rephrase. I am confused. Are you gonna be producing iron in big boy numbers? I mean, I'm making big boy factories, so I might as well produce iron in big boy numbers, since we have the space for it. No. One thing I do want to do, which I haven't figured out how I'm going to do that yet, but I will do, is I want to have the floors free for walking in the factory. I found it really annoying when I couldn't walk through the factory. So that is a thing that I want to include. Don't know how yet, but no conveyor belts on the floor is what I've decided. So I make a 2-wall high floor under each floor to run belts and pipes and run them through the floor. One sec, let me get up here. There we go. Let me take a look at that, at what you mean. Because this is really confusing when you say it. Oh, I see. I see. Oh, that's how you fix the problem with walkway. That's an interesting solution. I'll have to think about it. I don't know how I want to do that yet, but it's so neat. With the power perfectly in between too. It's so rare. I usually do the opposite, so belts are running on the ground and I just have glass foundations above them and I'm walking on those. I don't want to hide the belts, I like seeing stuff travel on the belts. That's another way of doing it. I could do walkways above because I'm building the factory very tall. So it could be easy to do that. I think we should build it one taller. I think it looks squatting right now. I don't like that. I teach the things really early. Jazz and blues is going to have a resurgence soon since a bunch of it coming into public domain and content creators and others are going to use them. It's possible. I could definitely see that. Since they're not just shitty NCM music. Yeah. I mean, I'd love for that. Like, who wouldn't like for jazz and blues to have a resurgence? That sounds fantastic. Oh, guys, I don't know if you know this, but I started out as a Hades speedrunner, and this is giving me flashbacks right now. I love this song so much. It's from Hades. Great game if you haven't played it. You really should. It makes your floor very clean. You can do glass as well. Either way works. Just glass plus moving items are the 2 FPS killers in this game. Nice. I've heard very good things about Hades. I have only the best of things to say about Hades. I love the game so much. It is fantastic, and I would recommend it to everybody who likes video games, basically. It is very addicting though, I will warn you. But yeah, gorgeous game, great storytelling, looks nice, plays nice, like everything about it's great. Not much of a top-down guy outside of Victoria. I guess it is top-down, but it doesn't really feel like a problem in Hades. If that makes sense. Like, it doesn't feel top-down in the same way that Victoria is top-down, right? Ah! Help. I have fallen and I can't get up. Fair. Should at least give it a try. I think it's a great, just, Jesus. Okay, I've landed. It's fine, guys. It's fine. Let me show a screenshot, absolutely. I like that too. Okay, what if I do both? Because my factory is so tall, and I have plenty space, what if It's only you four? Yeah. What if I did belt slightly off the floor, so you can kind of scooch underneath them. And then walkways up top, much higher. Because I have the space in the factory. Just an option. All Supergiant games are strong with their music, yes, and their art style, and their storytelling. Oh, have you played Transistor? Absolutely fucking loved that game. I legit cried at the end. And it's only like a 6-hour game or so. And if somebody gets you disinvested in their characters in 6 hours, you've done something right, for sure. My friend is a maniac, and for a good while we made buildings where the belts go outside into lifts. That does sound like a maniac thing to do, yeah. The thing is, there's so many sort of legit ways of doing it. We are out of iron plates, okay. I always felt that game was too short. It was, but that was also sort of the point, I think. Like, it was part of the way they told the story, I think. And so I actually kind of don't mind it. That's big plates. Screws. That's small plates here. Did it. I bought all their games and started with Bastion and ended with Hades, but I've refinished it. It's so good. Though you have to play a while for Hades to finish it, so I get that. I did also play Bastion back in the days, but that's years ago, so I don't like remember it in detail. I remember the narrative being really cool. No, let me up. I didn't like Pyre, unfortunately. Interesting. Why not? Because it's on my to playlist also. I was gonna play it on stream at some point. So then I'll have played all of their games. I've heard a lot of positive things about Pyre as well. Yeah, now we're in like full coffee shop territory, I feel. Which I'm into. Feels a lot like Korean coffee shops that I was going to. Gingerbread girl! Welcome in! Hi! Hello, Raiders! Coffee pog? Let me grab you some. Sip, sip. Hell yeah. I only have water, but how are you doing? What were you guys up to? We're building the world's prettiest factory. More Anno? Oh, hell yeah. That is awesome. Which one are you playing? Tired? Aw. Yeah, it's late for you, right? I was gonna go for a shorter stream today as well, but now that I'm playing, I'm like vibing with it, and you know me when I start playing Satisfactory. Okay, let's take a look at this again and if I like it better now. Before update 5, I went mad and was making buildings with entire maintenance floors with ratio splitters and using lifts and clipping through the broken foundation colliders straight into the various machines. That sounds like absolute insanity, Ninja Dogs. Don't know if that's healthy for you. Okay, guys. If you're new here, just came in with the raid, don't look, I'll show you the building. From up top, though. No looking. No, up, 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 up. Jesus. Struggling. Just a little bit. Okay, there we go. I suppose it isn't missing texture paint, then it would be really an eyesore. Oh, that sounds lovely. Just all the bright colors. You should go for it. Might as well, right? I'm going to run out of silica like this very quickly. By which I mean, right about now. There we go. That's all the wall I can build, my friends, unfortunately. It's going to be a big glass block, which I kind of like. Okay, now. Thinking. I'll be so overwhelmed with all these cosmetic options when I play it in early access. There's a lot at first, yeah. We spent an entire evening just doing like various demo builds so we can figure out what all the things are that we can do. And I still haven't figured all of them out. Somebody told me there's concrete floors and I'm like, what? I don't have those yet. Also, I'm broke, which is sad. Okay, we have two options now. We could go get more glass so we can finish the outside of this building. Or we can go and start building the inside of the building. I think one of these is an obviously more interesting option. So I think we're gonna go with that. And we'll finish the outside building later. I've been using the soft clearance for the build I'm working on. What's the soft clearance do? Oh, the clipping. Yeah, no. Everything should clip. Okay. Well, we can build 4 of these miners over here. How much do these produce? 60 ore per minute. That's garbage. I don't like when they sing in the songs. I really like how they've done it. Yeah, no, I love it. I think it was long overdue. There's a bunch of stuff that I like really wanted to clip before and now I can and I'm like, yes, it's beautiful. So we're gonna have entrance over here. All the stuff comes in over here. Goes up there. It's gonna come in through the floor, I'm gonna say. Hover pack would really be useful for this, so I won't lie. Although I think some real monstrosity is going to come from it though. Yeah. No, yeah. Being able to clip everything is both it's a little bit of a curse. Have a great stream. Thanks for dropping by, Kurt. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I guess you don't celebrate Halloween, but happy Halloween. So let's assume it comes in here. It's going to go into a row of smelters. We're gonna have a... I'm going to build it with Mach 1 belts just because they're cheap right now. I'm going to upgrade these obviously, so don't go crazy. This is tall enough to walk under, right? Should I build it taller? Or no? One pole is tall enough. Yeah. But I wonder if it'll look nicer with two, you know? Well, it's not everything, which is smart because that would be a sort of balance issue. Yeah, they solved it very nicely with what is and isn't words. What isn't clippable. Need 2 poles to connect the lift directly to an input or output. Okay, that's very useful information. Thank you. So we'll do 2. I'm just measuring these out right now. I'm assuming the green bar tells me how far a belt can go, which I'm fairly certain wasn't there before and is very nice. I appreciate that a lot. Let's go for this far. It's also always 7 foundations if you want to count. Yeah, but I don't want to count. I want the game to count for me, you know? And now it does that, which is like so lovely. Because I'm bad at counting and I miscount all the time. That's a thing? The 7 foundations thing? Yeah. Yeah. And this neat little green thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7, which is 6 because of OCD reasons. Yeah. It would be nicer if it was 6, right? There is a thing. Wait, there's a foundation floor hold that I unlocked. Yeah, this bad boy. Which I'm gonna need to build here. Make that 5 much nicer number? Yeah. Well, okay, our thing is 28 thingies long. I want to leave 1 on either side empty, so it's 26. What's a nice divisor of 26? There isn't one, right? It's just 13. By 2, by 4, it's like... Ugh. There isn't a nice way to divide it, unfortunately, I think. Oh, it's a cover. Okay. Not even? Yeah. Not even. Sucks. Like this. Oh, look at how nice it is. 26 is really a shit number, considering it's even. Yeah. What we can do is go from the middle. So have 1 right here, and then work our way outward. That's that. And then we'll go... as far as we can go out. Which is right here. Actually, even at odd numbers have the different uses. Prime number tier almost. I mean, if you divide it by 2, it becomes a prime number, so that's why it's an annoying one, right? Ah, this is such a jammy. Love it. Catch 'em indeed. It's a good one. Okay, so it is this one. There we go. I'm gonna give a real controversial opinion here. I think buildings should have even and odd sides. Meaning, you make them like 5 by 4 or something like that. What is the clipping with? There's nothing to clip with here. Stop being a bitch. 5 by stuff like that, yeah. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I just realized I put the belt up, but really I'm gonna need all of the splitters up first. So that was a useless activity. Well, first I'm gonna need the smelters. I'm happy with the high belt though. I think that looks nice so far. We'll see. We'll see how I feel about it in a moment. I'll probably change my mind on all of this in like a few hot seconds and then build it all over again. So they're not exactly 1 square wide. So the options is have too few of them or spread them out a little farther. I'm gonna go with spread out because that's what we're going with. Like that. Been working with squares and they're so fucking boring. I can see that, I can see that. I want something new, something more exciting. Like rectangles. Oh, Ninja Docs, you should talk to my good old friend Lolzercopter. I don't know if he's around today. Probably not, but he's building a round base. Actually tree-shaped. Because he was probably bored of squares too and was like, nope, I can do much better than that. So I feel like that's next level insanity then. And probably just do 3-head to make it look good though. No. The trick that we applied is that we looked up designs online and just went with something that we thought looked good from there. Because it's like really hard to come up with your own design, but you can steal from others. Like we looked up normal building designs and then modeled ours after it. So also just take your time. I've seen people build diagonals and hexagons in Factoria and I'd rather eat literal sand cake. I can see that, yeah. It's like, why would you torture yourself like that? I mean, I know why. It's because they can, so they will, but it is also torture, so. And one more. Nope, please go on the floor, my friend. Nope, what are you doing? Hello? On the floor. On the floor with you! Get on your knees. I'm gonna have to cut this tree down. That tree had it coming, guys. Don't say I didn't warn it. The new update made it a lot easier to make the circle. Some of the diagonal stuff does look good on a macro scale. Yeah, I can totally see that. But I think he did it before the new update, so he went the full torture route. Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes, gone with the tree. Cursed tree. As cursed as it is. That's fair. Okay. What was I doing? Right, I was grabbing my chainsaw. I have something to fuel it with. Can I use fuel on the chainsaw? Or does it have to be... No, it has to be biofuel. Oh yeah, the circle dwellers were on another plane of existence before this update. Absolutely, they're just somewhere out there, and we're just here, doing normal people stuff, right? One, two, three. Okay, that should be enough. Alright, my friend the tree. Get your ass over here. Vroom vroom. Motherfricker. You've had it with your shenanigans. Next you're gonna make sculptures using the clipping? Oh, that's definitely gonna happen. Oh, that will so very much happen. I should have said too much. Now they knew what they were doing already. Don't you worry. They've just been waiting for this moment. Alright, my tree friends. You're going down. Vroom vroom. Ah. I see the night sky. I'm dying again. No. Oh. Eat, eat, eat the berries. Happy tree friends? I am a happy tree friend. Just not when they're inside my base. Please tell me you watched that show. Unwillingly as a kid once, yeah. It was absolutely horrifying in every possible way. I thought it was a kid's show. It very much wasn't. Didn't watch it since, and I'm probably still traumatized from that day, I will say. It was, oh no. Yeah, do not recommend it to kids. Yeah, very much do not recommend that at all. Happy Tree Friends was a weird show. Yeah, it was dark. Not sure why they did what they did with it. Okay. Where were we? Kinda dumb as well? Yeah. I watched it when I knew what to expect. That's much better. Definitely do not watch it if you don't know what you're doing. Like I did. Here are all of my smelters. Sweet. Now I want... Are the Mac 1 lifts enough here, right? Because into the smelters I just put the basic amount. – I watched South Park as a kid when I didn't know cartoons could be different. Despite all the screaming, I remember thinking they have a dumb amount of pain tolerance. And Mac 1 is always nothing to smell this. Yeah. Am I building these at the right height? Yes. Yeah, South Park was a weird show to watch as a kid, I can imagine. There's plenty of cartoons that are actually not made for kids, you know. South Park is certainly one of those. And one more. 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 Nice. Do you know Ted the movie? No. Is it similar to South Park in any way? I like doing balancing by restricting belt throughput to the minimum I need for a certain section. I mean, I don't even have the belts that I'm planning this for yet, so I am restricting by virtue of that already, so that's good. And now we add splitters. Merger, splitter. Is this connected if I do it like this? Is this automatically connected? It is, right? Super Hacker, bonjour, bonjour. Welcome in. How are you doing? That's all the French I speak. I'm sorry. Well, I will just disclaimer that up front. When I watched Ted 1 and 2, I thought it was funny, but I now know it's really garbage humor. Oh no! Oh no! What is this? I think I'm doing this right. You're Canadian? No, I am actually Austrian. If I was Canadian, I might speak some French, but as an Austrian, I am ethically opposed to French. I'm kidding. I don't mind French at all. Like this, 2, 3. I'm just gonna build them all and then remove them all again. All in one foul swoop. Just kidding, I ran out of cables, so we're gonna remove them now. Abend. Ah, someone who speaks some German. Very lovely, right? Very lovely. Welcome in. We have like a few German speakers in the chat here, I think. I think you need to connect the lifts to the splitters, not the other way. Please say it ain't so. Tell me it ain't so. Okay, let me test. No, I think they connect. Because they have to, like, you know, the thing come out of them. This thing. So I think it's fine. Maybe it's different with update 5? Fingers crossed. We'll see if it isn't working fairly quickly, so then we can redo all of the lifts.
I believe the morning sun always gonna shine again.
No. Nope.
Believe a pot of gold
Cease your singing immediately.
that every rainbow's end.
Okay, there we go. Sorry, I don't know when they suddenly have a singer in my songs. It makes me uncomfortable. Is that one different? I misspelled this one, didn't I? Okay, so this was working fine in U4, but not anymore in U5. Most likely bug and will be fixed. Now you still have to build a connecting short belt. On the lift there? Because there's not even any space there to do that. Between lift and splitter. Oh, crap. Okay. I just realized some of these are the wrong way around. Ugh. Why would you turn a thing if I built it like this and then built another one on top? Why would it be in a different direction? Ah! Okay. I'm also gonna go grab some cables. I'm out of cables. But I'm upset now. Just do it. No. Yeah, fine, I'll do it. Out of joys of an experimental. Yeah. I mean, some of the stuff didn't work in the past and doesn't work now, so it's about as good as playing on U4, right? Plus, you get a bunch of cool new stuff, which is exciting. There we go. I mean, try it and you will see it's possible to build that short belt. Not just possible, it's a must. Aye, aye. I'll give it a shot. This looks certainly much better than what we had before. The before factory without even walls and everything, it's going to feel so outdated very soon. Space. We have so much space, yeah. Unfortunately, all of these are built the wrong way around, so... I'll try that one again. Right. This is such an easy fix, and the fact that they don't have this is like... Just, I don't get it. Like, look, if I built it now, it's another direction. Every time. I'm like, why would you rotate it? It's like, are you trying to demonstrate how many directions it can go? This is awful. Terrible, terrible feature. I really don't see the reason why it would do that. Okay, now we're in there. I'm really getting the groove of the like building shortcuts and everything as well. The rotating thing seems to be a design choice. It's like that since the beginning, but I don't really understand the reason behind that. I'm sure it's in the Q&A side. Probably. If somebody finds why that is that way, let me know. That's the thing. It seems like something that's clearly a design choice. I just don't think it's a smart one. It's not one that I like to understand in any way. Ooh, we're back to classical music. Piano and violin. Lovely. Interesting, because in other scenarios the game seems to be very clever and rotates the lift output intelligently. Exactly, I don't see why it wouldn't do the same here. Like, they've clearly put a lot of thought and time and effort into making the game not just playable, but really smooth of an experience, right? Why not this part then? Man, building large factories takes a long time, guys. Forgot about that. Brain says bed, so I go bed. Have a good night, Gingerbread Girl. Thanks for dropping by. And thanks for the raid. I very much appreciate that. I hope you sleep well. Have a nice long weekend. Thank you. You too. And happy Halloween if you're celebrating. If you don't turn the first one at all and just place them down, the third one will have the input from the right side though, which is what I want, you know? It's good this works for you. Yesterday, Brain said bed and then I was watching a stream till 3 AM. Happens to the best of us. By which I mean it happens to me all the time. I'm kind of torn between finishing watching Squid Game after the stream and just going to bed because I need to get up early and start prepping D&D tomorrow, and it's gonna be a long night. Then I want to watch Squid Game, you know? I want to finish it. It's a struggle, guys. Okay, there we go. Splitter's all set up. Connect them all nicely with belts. And then we vibin'. Was it at least a fun stream you were watching, Gabber? Tell me you enjoyed it. Then I'll feel slightly less bad about it. Oh god. Belt goes. Yep, guess what? It was a Satisfactory stream? Aw, man, I would have never thunk. Who would have possibly been able to guess that? Belt goes. That is the sound it makes, guys. Look at it go. I love when the belts do that. It's just the game programming being like, I'm so confused, help me please. If you do this 20 times, I will laugh 20 times. That's good. That means it's very entertaining. I'm adding my mini belts there. Are you happy? Look at it. I'm doing it. What's the maximum Mac for belts? 4? I just realized I've been building this all in Mac 3, and that's just such an overkill. But whatever. Now we're doing it. Nobody can see these anyways. 5? Oh boy. Okay. There we go. Looks neat. Still walkable. I'm into it. You see, that's the short belt that you have to add in U5, but not in U4. If it wasn't a thing in U4, then that seems like they probably just like, it's a bug that they'll remove. I don't think that's a feature. That would be... I don't see a good reason for that to be a feature. So... Look guys, I want to keep building eternally. But if I start another project now, it's going to be another hour and a half before I stop. So I'm going to call the stream here today. I think this is a good first step. We can get it all up and running probably next time. And yeah, we'll just keep building on it. It's a big project, so it's going to take a while, but I'm excited. You could snap a splitter to the output of lift, so we got something, we lost something. You couldn't snap a splitter to the output of lift, so we got something, lost something. That's fair. Now you can. Look at that. I didn't know that was a thing. That wasn't a thing before. But nice that it's now. I think this is going to be fixed. I honestly don't think that's an intended feature. Yeah. Wait. Pause, champ. You just watched Rocky Horror? Yes, I just watched Rocky Horror Picture Show on Monday, and I'm going to go to a public viewing of it tomorrow in costume and all. Did I send you a picture of me as Dr. Frankenfurter? No, you did not, and you very much should. I would love to see that. That sounds hilarious. And I'm glad that US people also know that show, because some US friends said they didn't, and they don't know what it is, and I was like, is it not a US thing? Is it a Europe thing? I've never seen Rocky Horror. You should watch it, Water Buffalo. I'm not saying you should do drugs. Very much against drugs here. But if one were to do drugs, theoretically, be a great movie to watch while on said drugs. Started in the US and LA, well, the cult following around it. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, it seemed like a US thing. So that makes perfect sense, yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to see how culty the public viewing is going to be. It's sing along and act along, so it's gonna go fairly crazy, I would say. I'm expecting it to be fairly crazy. Very excited. Too late, I do all of the drugs, little JK. Well, I mean, if you already do all of the drugs, you know, if you were to do such said drugs, then you should watch the movie while on drugs. Not saying you should do drugs, though. Nobody quote me on that one. I'm very much against drugs. I watched it sober, and I was thinking, man, if only I had done a bunch of drugs before watching this. It's a very intense experience is what it is, I think. But in a good way. I loved it. The music is fantastic. It's fun to sing along. You just have to be prepared for it to be absolutely batshit crazy. And if you go in with that mindset, you're good. Alright guys, let's do some raiding. Let's see who is online. Anyone know any fun people to raid that are online right now? The only one I'm seeing on my thing right now is Kibitz streaming Satisfactory. We could go raid someone with a single viewer. How do you guys feel about that? I love doing single, like, small streamer. Now that I'm a slightly bigger streamer, I can do small streamer raids and it's exciting. We could totally make someone's day. How's that? Also, Orangi, I see you're currently streaming, but you're also in my chat. What are you doing here? Go back to your stream. Do your video games. Gee. Let's see. Let's find somebody small. Someone small. Here's a guy called Mr. Batiste, and I'm like, I see what you did there. There isn't even anyone. Oh, no, there's more. 3 viewers. It's a German stream. I'm trying to find something in English for you guys. Spanish stream. German stream. Why are there so many Germans playing this game? This is an oddly popular game for German speakers. Doesn't have a camera. Okay, I think I found somebody. Let me check them out. Let's see if we like them. Yeah, let's do it. Found someone, guys. Let's do a raid. Can you make a lot of noise for me when you get over there? Let them know that we're coming. And be on your very best raiding behavior. Oh, everyone's coming with! It's exciting! I'll see you over there. Have a lovely rest of your weekend. Enjoy Halloween, if you're celebrating. And I'll be back on Tuesday, as usual, with this factory. Bye!